Welcome back to another edition of YOLO Portfolio. So, we have a few things to talk about. It's been a while since my last video. There honestly hasn't been too much to talk about, which is why I haven't posted that much on the channel. But there have been some interesting developments over the past couple of weeks, past month or so. The jobs report looking a lot better, the rate of inflation being a lot lower than expected, which has triggered I wouldn't say bull run, because a bull run, the prices would be a lot higher than they are right now. But relatively speaking, we've seen some pretty good increases over the short term. Year to date, at least for me, obviously, depending on which coins you own and how many of which you have with your portfolio, it may be higher, may be lower. But for me, up 27%, $1,600 from the beginning of the year, and it is only January 13th. So that means my entire portfolio is up 27% in less than 2 weeks. That is just amazing. It just shows just as fast as the coins, as the prices of these coins can come crashing down, they can bounce right back up. Which is why when I see big price drops, like just ridiculous price drops, I don't instantly flip out and lose my shit and think it's all over and crypto's dead and yada yada yada. I've been pretty level-headed throughout this whole situation with the crypto market. I've been investing since early 2021, right when the whole crypto hype train really took off, when Dogecoin hit ridiculous prices. I remember I bought in at, I think I bought in at 5 cents, and then it increased to 7 cents, and I'm like, oh my god, what a huge increase. I made like a couple $100 off of that. Like, I think I invested like, whatever, $500 or $600 just to get my feet wet, to get into the whole thing. And it just reached incredible heights that I didn't think it ever would. Unfortunately, I didn't sell at the highest price. I actually sold at losses a handful of times, and I learned a lot of painful lessons during this time period. It's crazy. I think the last time I was profitable was May 3rd, 2021. Almost 2 years since I've actually turned a profit. Yeah. So it's been a roller coaster, a lot of ups and downs, but it's been mostly headed down, 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 down. You could just see over time. I remember I thought back in June, holy shit, I'm way in over my head. I've lost so much money on this. But I'm like, it can't get much lower. And then it rebounds, and I'm like, oh shit, like I'm actually close to making my money back. And then nope, it goes down. It goes up again a little bit, but then it just keeps going down, down, down. But now it's rebounding again. Not quite not even close to where it should be. I still have another $6,700 to go before I even break even. Never mind before I actually turn a profit in this thing. But I'm hopeful in the long term, and by long term I mean 1 to 2 years. I would say, so it's like, it's around, I'm honestly not good with dates, but I'm pretty sure it's like March or April when we're going to get the next halving for Bitcoin. And pretty much every single time throughout history when there's a halving for Bitcoin, about a few months later, it triggers a huge bull run in the cryptocurrency market. And honestly, I think the prices would be a lot better now if it weren't for the underlying economic factors that are just hurting the prices of crypto and stocks. Crazy thing about Coinbase, I always felt like Coinbase, like, this shit's going up so much recently. Over the past week, it's up 40-something%. So if you bought some Coinbase stock right around the, $35 range or whatever, then you're making bank right now. Holy shit, just in a week. But, relatively speaking, in the past 3 months, it's still down over 20%. So you need to look at it that way as well. I didn't expect Coinbase to have a huge rally. I always expected, when you're talking about stocks like Coinbase and Riot Blockchain, when those stocks are going up, it usually correlates with a massive jump in the cryptocurrency prices. And the cryptocurrency prices have been going up, definitely, but my whole philosophy was like, well, I think in the long term, the value from these coin exchanges really comes from the value of crypto, and I think the value of crypto, just investing in the cryptocurrency directly, will get you a much bigger profit than investing in stocks for these crypto companies, if that makes any sense. So that's why I haven't really been messing around with Coinbase that much. I remember when it first launched, when they had their IPO, it was like trading around the $300 level. So if you bought around then yeah, it's still not looking good, I guess. And then of course you have the usual suspects: AMC going up, Bed Bath and Beyond went up a shit ton, but a lot of these like small biotech stocks. AGTC, that was one of the stocks I was big on back in the day, is now delisted because it was sold and became privatized and merged with another company. And Zomedica was another one that I was looking into, and now I'm not so sure if I want to jump back in. We'll see. ETC and ETH are obviously still my main two plays in the short term and in the long term. I plan on getting up to, I mean, we'll see. Depending on how long this bear market lasts, I'm just going to keep accumulating. I might be able to go up as high as 500 coins, depending on how low the price dips to. Like, if we get $10 ETC, I'm going to go on a spending spree. And Ethereum, too. If Ethereum, like, goes below $1,000 or goes to, like, $700 or something like that, I'm going to go on a spending spree for sure. And Litecoin's another coin that I've been looking at. I just bought a few right before it had a big jump, so I made a little tiny profit. Not really anything to talk about, but you know, so I'm in on Litecoin as well. Might get back into Bitcoin. Might get back into Bitcoin Cash. Not so sure about Dogecoin. Ethereum proof of work, yeah, that's a joke. Chainlink, I'm just watching it for the fun of it. Not really looking into investing in BSV. I'm not touching with the 10-foot pole. Yeah, I think ETC is going to be the big one. I could see $1,000 ETC in the next year and a half or so. Like, I guess that is long term, but not really in the grand scheme of things. If I've been investing for 2 years and have been dealing with all this shit, what's another year and a half, really? I really think that Ethereum Classic is going to be the big one out of all the big crypto coins to look out for. And if that happened, that would be really something. Because I have like almost 200 coins. I'm probably going to have even more by the time it makes a run. So I'm just going to hold tight. I mean, there's really not much to discuss aside from things are looking up as far as the whole the underlying economy and all that stuff, because when those things improve, that means just by default the crypto prices are going to go up and the stock prices. The whole thing with FTX and all these things. Look, crypto has been through worse, and I always do this every video, and I feel like I'm getting repetitive with it. But it is something, because, you know, I'm a small channel and I have a lot of new people coming into every single video that don't know my whole shtick. But and also they're new to crypto and don't really understand the whole market, and to be fair, not a whole lot of people do. But put this into perspective. If you think like, oh my god, it's so gloom and doom for Ethereum, it's over the past year it's been down almost 60%. Like, that's just crazy. Like, for a stock to be down 60% in a year, the hopes for you ever getting your money back are slim to none. But with crypto, it's a lot different, because if you look at in the big picture, over the past 5 years, it's been up 27%, which seems pretty small. But if you bought in at the right times, because this was a bull market, right, in early 2018, late 2017. So that's if you bought at the top of the bull market 5 years ago and have been holding through this entire period, even through the massive jump. If you cashed out here, you'd be up over 300%. And then if you bought in over here, like around, I think it went down to like $80. I think that was like the low price in late 2018. If you went from $80 to almost $5,000 a coin, let's just say you bought 10 coins, that'd be 50K, 50 grand in like what, 3 years? Shit, flipping $800 into 50K, that's just incredible. So that was like the bottom of the bottom. Conventional wisdom tells you, though, that when we do get back to the bull market, which again, we don't know when that's going to happen, but when we do get back to the bull market, it's going to be higher than this range. It's going to be probably around the $15,000 range, $20,000 range. So if you're buying in at these prices, it's still a very good buy. And yeah, could it be lower? Yes, it could. But big picture here, we're talking maybe like 1 year, 2 years, 3, 4 years. I think is the maximum as far as like getting huge. But I think 2025, honestly, I think is going to be the latest that we're going to get the next big bull run for a number of factors. The Bitcoin halving being one of them. The economy likely to improve dramatically by then, and we're already seeing some signs of it, even though it's really still got a far ways to go. So I am not stressing it one bit. Neither should you. Just sit tight, hold, accumulate if you can afford to. I'm going pretty crazy with crypto. I mean, I started off when I started buying cryptocurrency. You know, this number, the 14,300. That's how much my portfolio would be worth if I broke even. That's how much money I put in overall. When I started, it was less, like I said, it was like maybe $500, $600, like just a little bit of money. But then over time, I think around this point, it was like $2,000, and then I just kept buying and buying and buying and buying and buying through all the highs and through all the lows, and just kept accumulating as much as I possibly could, and just keep hoping for the best. And I think eventually we'll get there. I know eventually we'll get there. So yeah, I talk a lot about my investing and my cryptocurrency to people in real life. They think I'm absolutely insane. But when it does go up, and when I do make a shit ton of money out of this, people are going to be asking me, like, why didn't you push me more to buy cryptocurrency? Why didn't I listen to you? Why didn't I buy crypto? And then it'll be too late, or at least they'll have to wait a very, very long time before another opportunity comes. And I honestly don't think there are too many opportunities left, at least when it comes to cryptocurrency. I think eventually, I'm not going to say a bubble. There's going to be a crypto bubble, but I think it's going to, like, the value and the prices are going to be set in at that point, like when we're talking like into 2030, you know. So I really think we're only going to have 1 or 2 more big bull runs until the jig is up, or until like it becomes more institutionalized and the prices will be more stable. Therefore, you won't have 98% losses, but you also won't have 1000% gains, if that makes any sense, because crypto kind of is like the Wild West in investing. Even Bitcoin and Ethereum, which are like the more reputable crypto projects, still have a lot of volatility associated with them. But volatility goes both ways. A lot of action, a lot of downward trends in terms of price, but also a lot of upward momentum, especially when we hit the bull run. So, hey guys, I think now is the best time. Maybe, I think this run we've been having since the beginning of the year is definitely going to cool off at some point, probably within the next week or 2 weeks. We're going to start seeing it go a little bit down, and maybe it can go down even more around March. But if, let's say the Federal Reserve, though, let's say that the Federal Reserve decides, you know what, they're not going to have 0% interest rates, obviously. But even if they say, we're not going to increase interest rates as much as we have been, that alone can actually could go from here to here, all the way up. So strap on your seatbelts, because we're going to be in for a wild ride, one way or the other. I think it can go either way. I don't think it's set that it's going to go up. I don't think it's set that it's going to go down. I'm talking short term, but I think in the long term, I'm like 95% confident that I am going to be very, very happy in 2024 or 2025. So we'll see how it is, but I'm feeling pretty good. I'm still feeling good. I'm still very bullish.